Welcome to Money Monday, where for the next 7 weeks I'm going to be covering a part a week from Money Rules by Gene Chatzky. And before the book starts, she gives two principles to kind of go with all the rules she has. So the first principle is personal finance is more personal than it is finances. You have to make a decision that is right for you, not right for your best friend or siblings or even your mother, but right for you and your family. That may mean leaving cash in the bank because it enables you to sleep at night, while the experts are telling you to invest the money so it can grow. It may mean taking a lower paying job because you think you'll actually enjoy the work. It may mean deciding you'll work a few extra years because you can't stand the thought of loading up your kids with student loans. Whatever personal choices you make them thoughtfully and with a plan to get you from here to there. That's key because along the way, I guarantee there will be stops and starts. There will be emergencies and surprises, and there will be people, sometimes people who love you, who think you are doing it all wrong. That's because Principle 2. Money is simple, people make it complicated. A person's behavior around money is emotional, sometimes nonsensical, often frustrating and maddening. Here's proof. If I were to take any other resource, whether it's a basic one like water or a luxury like a bottle of champagne, and say I'm going to divvy it up among you and a dozen of your colleagues, there would be a feeling that it should be split up fairly. But if I say I have some extra money, there's more infighting involved. People start to ask who's more or less worthy, who's more or less needy. It becomes a value judgment. There's there's morality associated with it, and therefore it's much more complicated. Try to keep this in mind as you make financial decisions for yourself and weigh in on decisions of others. So, let's get to it, remembering that these rules are brief on purpose. They are made to remove complexity and embrace simplicity. They're also easy to remember because if you can remember them, then you can follow them. And that is precisely the point. So, once you get into the book, it's broken down into 7 different sections, like I said. Part 1 is make money. The money that goes out, whether you spend it, save it, invest it, or give it away, has to come from somewhere. That generally means earning it, and that's a good thing. Getting paid is an inevitable indication that others value what you do, how you think, and who you are. All of those things are a boost to your self-esteem. The rules in this section will help you understand how to earn what you're worth, how to extract the most happiness possible from those earnings, and when, in fact, you shouldn't do that particular work, but instead delegate it to someone else. So the first rule in this section, your job is your most important investment. For years you were told your home and retirement accounts were your greatest assets. Wrong. If the Great Recession has proven anything, it's that your job, more specifically your earning power, is by far your greatest asset. Protect your financial security by treating this asset like any other investment. If your work profile is risky, you're paid on commission or bonuses rather than straight salary, or your job security is largely tied to the economy, it's like a stock. If it's more stable, you work for the government, you're one of the lucky few who still has a traditional pension plan, or you're a tenured teacher or college professor, you're essentially holding a bond. Consider this when you fashion your asset allocation. Those in stock-like jobs need to account for that by being a little less aggressive in their other investments. Those with job security can take a little bit more risk. Rule 2. Your education is your second most important investment. The rising cost of college has led to a populist cry that college degrees aren't worth the money. That's completely backwards. A study from Georgetown University shows the value of a college degree is going up. The typical worker with less than a high school diploma will earn $973,000 over the course of a career. A typical professional, think doctor or lawyer, will earn $3.6 million. College grads fall halfway between. The pay gap between those who go to college and don't has gone wider and is expected to continue to grow. This isn't just an income gap, it's also a social one. College grads are more likely to get and stay married, to have strong networks of friends, to be active in their communities, and are less likely to be obese and smoke. Both are wealth reducers. See Rules 82 and 83. It is also important to note that graduates from college is more important than where you graduate from college. Although a 4-year degree does pay off better than a 2-year one does. Bottom line, the more you learn, the more you expand your horizons and rack up cold, practical experience, the more you're worth to someone who needs your talent. Your stock can rise in any economy. Rule 3. Know your worth on the open market. Are you worth more than you're earning today, or less? If you don't know, that's a huge problem. If you're under-earning, you're losing money every day, you're not asking for more. If you're overpaid, you're ripe for the chopping block, and you better update your skills or improve your productivity. You can find salary information online. Better yet, ask a friend or colleague at a competing firm. What would someone with my skills be paid at your company? Rule 4. If you don't ask for more money, the answer will always be no. Here's a shocker. In 2011, newly trained female doctors earned salaries that averaged $17,000 less than a newly trained male doctor. It's not that women were picking less lucrative specialties or that they were asking for more flexibility work schedules. It used to be the case, but not this time. The difference this time was a problem that existed for years. Women don't ask. Whether you're a woman or a man, you have to ask for the money you want. The answer may not be the one you're looking for, but if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. Rule 5. You're never more valuable than when someone else wants you. If you've been at your job more than a few years, chances are you're underpaid. The last few years have been some of the leanest for salary increases in 3 decades. Who did receive a decent raise? The guy or gal who jumped ship. That's who. someone else recognize that person's value. You can do the same, but note, this gimmick works best if your last performance evaluation was stellar and if taking the new job is something you're actually willing to do. That's the best way on the planet to earn a raise. Rule 6. The 4 most powerful words in any negotiation. Can you do better? You're saying in the office of the person who's dying to be your new boss. He's just offered you a job that you really want with the title you've been craving. The only hitch, the salary isn't where you'd hoped it'd be. Don't commit, at least not until you ask, can you do better? It's a perfect haggle. You sound as if you know there's wiggle room, and you're willing to let him work his magic. And note, this works just as well when you're on the phone with the cable company, at a mechanics for an oil change, talking to a mortgage rep about locking in a refi rate. It's even, I know from experience, works with teenage kids. Rule 7. More money won't always make you more happy. The next time you consider taking a job just for the money, remember this. Money only buys happiness to a point. Beyond that, more money makes no difference in how happy you feel. According to some noble Orients, 75,000 buys happiness. That's an average that varies regionally. Happiness is more expensive in Manhattan, New York, than Manhattan, Kansas. But the message is this: as long as you earn enough to pay your mortgage or rent, put gas in the car, that's not a clunker, eat what you want when you want to, and take the occasional vacation, and oh yes, save a decent chunk of whatever you're bringing in. More money will not make you more happy. Coming up short on any of those basic wants and needs, however, will make you miserable. Rule 8. The more time you spend looking, the less happy you'll be with what you find. When an opportunity seems good enough, take it. Researchers surveyed job hunting college seniors and found that those who search for perfection generally did land jobs paying 20% more. Unfortunately, those former students like those jobs much less. That makes sense. If you're looking for the ultimate opportunity, the one you eventually choose is destined to fall short. The not-so-picky students were happier with their jobs. The same applies to any big purchase. Spend days searching for the best flat-screen TV, and you'll always doubt your choice. Find one in a few hours that fits all your needs at a decent price. You're gonna love it. Rule 9. An hour of your time is worth blank. Here's a quick and dirty way to compute your hourly rate. Remove the last 3 zeros from your annual salary and divide the remaining number in half. For example, if you earn $30,000 a year, that gives you a rate of $15 an hour. If you make $100,000, it's $50 an hour. Use this handy formula in combination with your enjoyment-hatred of the task at hand to decide when it's okay to hire others and which tasks aren't worth doing at all. The weeding of the garden you could hire someone to do for $15 an hour. If you hate it and earn more, hire help. If you love it and earn more, don't. And if you earn less yourself, plug in your iPod, pour yourself a cold one, and start digging. And that was the first section. See you next Monday.